Billions of years ago, a race of immortals harnessed the most powerful force in existence, the emerald energy of willpower. These immortals, the guardians of the universe, built a world from where they could watch over all of existence, the planet Oa. They divided the universe into 3,600 sectors. A ring powered by the energy of will was sent to every sector to select a recruit. In order to be chosen by the ring, it was said one must be without fear. Together, these 3,600 recruits formed the intergalactic peacekeepers known as the Green Lantern Corps.
By the power of Grayskull. What the hell?
This is Film Sack. Oh, sure.
Hello, and welcome to Film Sack, mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind. This is episode 609. I'm Scott Johnson, joined today by Brian. Hector would like his... Hector would like to smell your hair, please. Dunaway.
That's pert. Oh, hi.
Hi.
This week on Film Sack, we get the green light to head over to HBO Max and shine the lantern of judgment down upon this 2011 superhero movie that tries to willpower its way into existence. Warner Brothers powers activate. Form of Richard Donner's 1978 Superman? Nope. Try again. How about shape of Tim Burton's 1989 Batman? No, sir. That's a fail. Fine. Just do your best, Jon Favreau's Iron Man. I know, not DC, but we got to get this thing going. Wait. Isn't that Taika Waititi in your damn movie? Director of Thor Ragnarok? And you still made this instead? Okay, Doomer. Anywho. Good morning to my circle jerk of giant immortal heads with flowing toilet robes floating in space, casting judgment and dirty looks upon the 3,600 sectors of life. While some of you were napping and releasing gases into the galaxy, I have been guardianing up this shit. And behold, I have news. The human they call Hal Jordan has joined our little corp of greenies and is on his way. Now, before he gets here, I don't want anyone looking directly at his human package. I know it's dreamy and all, but we are the immortal guardians by God, and we need to act like it. Now, excuse me while I poop in my robe. Randy, you are afraid. Good. Freddy souls are the tastiest. Haven't read that in almost 2 weeks since I wrote it.
Yeah,
Holy hell.
nicely done. Hal Jordan. I like that.
Hal Jordan.
That's a nice throwback to a older
I made a little
time.
phonic spelling in my intro so I wouldn't forget.
No, that was fantastic.
And
Also with us,
Taika Waititi.
Waititi. Yeah, you got to say it out loud like that. Also with us, Randy. He's also sponsored by LG Phones. Jordan.
Oh.
Aloha, Scott. Brian.
Hi.
What if we could manifest things with our minds? No, wait, hold on. What if we could manifest things with our jewelry? Dude, just like if you had like a belly button piercing and you were like really, really full from this steak buffet. Oh man, like Sizzler. Is that what that's called? This Sizzler. Dude, that's so weird. Sizzler. That's why there's like zzz right in the middle of it. So like, what if you like got your nipples pierced and both of the nipple rings could manifest things, dude?
Whoa.
You could like shoot green laser ferrets from your nipples. That's a weird word too, man. It has right in the middle of it. Like you don't say nipples. You like even with the it's just like right there. Okay. You know what? I need to get some sleep now, man. Okay, bye.
Are you saying these people were on drugs?
I'm glad that call's over. But I'm sorry. What? Shit. I'm sorry, guys. You weren't supposed to hear that. And you know what? I could fix it if I only had a magic green piece of jewelry, like right on my unit. Right on my unit.
Oh.
Okay. So I'm hanging up.
What kind of ring is that?
I don't think we're allowed to say,
a
are we?
rooster ring, I think.
Yeah, rooster. There you go. Unit ring. Well done. This is our final person I'm about to announce, and that is his name. Here's his name. Brian, that mustache puts the sin in Sinestro ibit.
Oh, yeah, so true. God, how could they not tell he was evil? Hey, I decided to take a step back and let a friend of mine cover this one or do this week's Film Sack karaoke. So let me introduce my little green friend who's gonna take things from here.
All right, it's coming. We hear.
You guys hearing it? Okay.
Nope.
Oh yeah, sounds great.
Nope. We hear nothing.
Nothing.
Dead quiet.
Oh, nothing. Not even the music.
Nope.
Not even the music.
Nothing. Hear nothing.
Is this part of the
You need to manifest harder. Manifest
Let
harder.
me manifest. I'm gonna manifest one more time here.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I just felt it. I felt something. I felt something twinge. Okay, let's try it now.
All right. Okay. Oh,
Here it goes. There it is.
All right, good. Shoot.
I can make anything if it's green. Because that is the color of my ring.
Oh my gosh.
And that ring originally came from the Guardians on the planet Oa. I can make things out of green, like a big flame-throwing machine. But I don't think about things like where the fuel comes from or why the fire isn't green or something like that. But little eye masks are dumb, 'cause I'm a recognizable dude who is just on the news. And when I walk into a party, everyone stops what they're doing and shouts out my name. When green is all my things can be, it could make you wonder why. But why wonder why? Why wonder? Like why a Hot Wheels track when a mattress would do just fine. And I guess that's just what I want to be.
wow.
You do a pretty good Kermit.
That's wicked, Kermit.
That was
Yeah.
real good.
Yeah.
Two weeks I've been sitting on that damn thing.
Yeah.
Sitting on it.
You know, we grew up with the Muppets putting out songs, and it occurred to me recently that for my kids' generation, it's Steven Universe. They put out songs.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same stuff. The same.
Still never seen a single episode of Steven Universe. And I hear it's great.
Good.
It's
Rebecca
not because
you
I'm
really
avoiding
should.
it, but
Yeah, it's very good.
She's really good. She's
Yeah,
really good.
it's an amazing game.
I actually want an album of Steven Universe's greatest hits, like they're the songs
awesome.
that are like the most memorable.
Yeah. Well,
It's
Brian's
such a
got
different experience than a lot of other aggressive. It's just such a mellow mood. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would highly recommend binging that.
I
They
will
have
check it out.
Their little spin-off turn-based RPG they made is also very good.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that. All right. Yeah. There we
Quite
go.
good.
I'll play that while I watch it.
There you go. Yeah. Perfect.
Good job though. That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was
All
great.
the points.
Yeah. Once
Why
again,
that racetrack when it could have just been a freaking mattress?
That's right.
Right. Let's
right.
cause more damage and have this thing fly around the party, nearly decapitating people.
Yeah. And small reminder: if you're a patron of the show, you get the lyrics in the patron post. So watch for that.
Don't even have to. Yeah, don't have to translate them or anything. You get the tape. Ooh, we should send out tape inserts. Remember those?
Oh,
With
yeah.
the
Oh,
lyrics?
I made some of those for Sound Archery. I can make some for Film Sack.
Let's do it.
You can have your own awesome mix of Film Sack.
We should bring it back.
Yeah, that song didn't realize until I started writing lyrics for it. Not a lot of shit rhymes in that song. Like, Jim Henson said, "Screw it, I'm making a haiku."
Yeah. He was blowing our minds. We didn't even know it. We were
Maybe
young.
he was high.
Oh,
Certainly.
hey, zing.
I actually wasn't trying to say that I think the original like writing of the Green Lantern books was coming from a drug use. I just find that it's so different. It's so like, you know what I mean? Like it's so strangely different than how you approach a new comic book hero 70 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right.
I
It's a very
agree.
unique idea.
It's like half the late 60s 70s era stuff, Silver Surfer on the Marvel side, all sorts of crazy shit on the DC side. I think a lot of that was written out of drug culture. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's hard to look at something like Silver Surfer and go, yeah, that's normal.
That was a sober mind that created that one.
Yeah.
Right. What if we could harness the power of will
Yeah.
and fear?
Yeah. And it's colored like green, man. Yeah.
And then the bad is yellow. Although I guess in the original comics, his weakness was wood.
Oh, holy shit.
I don't remember that.
I did not know this. Is that true?
Yes. Originally wood, and then they switched it to yellow.
Okay.
I like the yellow's way smarter.
You could beat Green Lantern with a baseball bat,
With a
basically.
bat.
Which wouldn't have worked well for that. Who's the
So
other
he'd
guy?
be in trouble if Batman showed up, huh?
There's
All right.
the one of the Green Lanterns. The one they just announced is going to be in the new Superman movie.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion, the Guy Gardner bowl cut.
Guy Gardner.
How
He's the
timely.
one that carries a bat around, so it's a good thing they didn't, stick with the bat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He loves a baseball bat. That guy. In the
I
comics,
love
anyway.
DC's. I love how DC has like their primary thing that that makes their superhero weak. Then they have the secondary thing, like Superman's like, oh yeah, kryptonite, that's gonna do it. But then you go, did you also know he can't deal with magic? True.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
It's
no
weird.
magic. Magic is out. Yellow is out.
He's like, what is this magic?
Yep.
Yeah, is it all shades of yellow? Like, what about cornflower?
I like how on the
or-
nose they went with the. Oh,
What if you loaded up a super soaker with a bunch of yellow urine?
Oh.
Or is that like
No, I don't think he's weak.
It has to be
I don't think he's weak
yellow
to the-
urine. Like
I
you
don't
have
think he's weak to the color, right? He's weak to fear, right? Isn't that the idea?
cartoon-
That,
I'd be pretty
the
scared
cartoons,
if you
it
were
was-
super soakering me with urine.
Yeah.
I'd be really
No,
scared.
Brian.
A lot of
Brian
fear.
is Ibit is on to something. They've always said it was the color, and
it
so
was the color yellow, so
which is a
Sinestro
problem.
was
the
like,
manifestation.
yeah. Well, no, because in the cartoons effed it up is the problem.
Yeah, of course,
Like
of
if
course.
they had a yellow of any kind,
Well, kryptonite
forgetting.
is green, but Superman's not like, oh no, green.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like if
Well,
did
it's the kryptonite that's the problem, not the color
Yeah, yeah.
green.
right. But did Green Lantern groove on kryptonite? Was that like extra awesome?
Right.
Because it's
Oh,
green
yeah.
and it's powerful. Ooh, kryptonite, green, like that. I wonder
This
if
is
he did that.
this
I
is
don't
what's
think green
always
gave him
been-
extra powers. I think it's just the fact that his ring could only.
This is what it's
You want to listen to the
always.
song again? The song really
Yeah,
explains
it really was the song.
This is
Yeah,
what
it was
is
there the whole
always
time.
appealing to those who read comics is the outside of the rules that are set.
Yeah.
This is like a million discussions I've had with other comic book readers of all kinds of ilk.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
Big
fun.
Bang Theory is
It's fun.
based on this joke.
Yeah,
Right.
the entire
You're not wrong.
entire
Yeah.
show. Yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah.
I like the comic books are a little effed up so that we get to have these conversations as
Yes.
if it matters, like as if it's
because
important.
they have to come up with something new because once you've established wood is bad, he doesn't he's bad against wood, well that
You didn't
gets old.
think this
How
through.
about yellow? Okay, yellow's good, let's do yellow for a while.
Yeah.
And then, that's not so good, now let's introduce something else. I mean,
Yeah.
they have to keep innovating the
It's
character.
almost like it's almost like the DC and Marvel expected their cartoonists and artists and writers to shit out stuff like almost a monthly basis with
yeah,
no
it's
forethought.
almost
Yeah.
almost just like that.
And pay the not
then we end
enough
up
and
with
all of that.
Superman pulling the S off his chest and throwing it around,
Yeah.
not like it's saran wrap.
Yeah, as much as we all love Richard Donner, good Lord,
Yeah.
who the hell thought of that? All right, I'm going to play two intros for Green Lantern, the
good.
2011 film Green Lantern, and the reason I'm doing that is because Scott Fletcher. Had we recorded last week, and there's a whole story about why we didn't, but had we recorded last week, we would have had a non-Fletcher intro because he'd gotten busy and wasn't able to do it. Well, he'd had time since then and now, and so now we have one from him. So I'm going to play the one that was the fake one, then I'll play the real one, and so this week y'all get double intro.
Oh, you shouldn't have told us. You should have made us guess which one was the real Fletcher.
Well, this you'll know for sure because this first one is definitely not him. So anyway, here it is. Enjoy.
Reckless test pilot Hal Jordan is granted an alien ring that bestows him with otherworldly powers that inducts him into an intergalactic police force, the Green Lantern Corps.
There you go. That was
Schenectady, you're on the air.
I'm going to say it sounded like you had like a NASCAR race announcer do that one. Is that?
That's it. So that's
like somebody calling into Larry King to explain Green Lantern.
Yeah. He sounds like a conspiracy theorist just on the tone alone. But that was a voice modeled after, of all people, the guy who does the voice work for the Mario games. So he's Mario.
Oh, funny.
And it's terrible. Like,
reckless test pilot.
It doesn't even sound right, so it's not good. No. But I thought it was funny.
Plus, I was thinking he was about to say reckless testicle.
Yeah.
Is it not available to get Ryan Reynolds to do the intro for Green Lantern?
Oh, I could have tried. Why didn't I do that? I should have done that.
That's hilarious.
That's a great idea. But here's an actual Fletcher. Now, he told me I should wait to hear this on the show, which means there must be something up here. So I stayed virgin ears on this. Let's see what he did.
Green Lantern. Green Lantern, 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 Green Lantern.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you got punked. I love it.
We did get punked on that one.
Still better than the movie.
Great. Okay, I would like to say my piece now.
All right, go.
All right,
oh, your piece? Okay, do it.
Give us your piece.
So, I grew up collecting comic books. There's for most of my lifetime, there's this Marvel versus DC thing. I was a little kid. I didn't know any better. I was told that I needed to pick a side. I picked Marvel. And whenever, somebody challenged me in a comic book shop or something, this never happened. But whenever I was just like, well, why don't you even look at DC stuff? I always had this ridiculous, childish little argument that went, Marvel is more realistic and more personal, and DC is more ridiculous. And my first example was the Green Lantern, which I knew practically nothing about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just knew that it was this ridiculous space magic, and a handful of Green Lanterns couldn't possibly cover all of space. Space is too big. And, like that human, who was drawn upward in it. It's just like everything about the Green Lantern on paper that I had heard made me think it was ridiculous, and it was the perfect encapsulation of all that was wrong with DC, why DC was second rate compared to Marvel. Right. So all these years have passed by, and movies have come out, and I never saw this movie or any DC movie. I've seen, obviously saw the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. They're awesome. Sure. But just generally speaking, that has affected my entire life as a moviegoer. And so I actually I came into this with some trepidation. I'm like, please don't undo my entire life history. And you know what? I like this movie. I enjoyed this movie.
Mm-hmm. I had a better time than I was expecting, having been told how terrible it was for all those years and having avoided it also, because I was like, well, I'm not going to watch this. Yeah. So our expectations.
Time for three of us,
except for me. This was the first time for all three of you. So that's so wild for a comic book movie in a room full of nerds having three Green Lantern versions. Crazy.
And another question, and so now that, and maybe it's just when it fell. Because right now we're really exploring the multiverse in our current incarnation of things we're watching, right? Because everything's got like a little bit of a multiverse to it right now in the current phase of Marvel, especially.
Yeah.
And DC's always experienced the same thing. But anyway, and maybe we're allowing a little more stretch, whereas in 2011 we might have been more like,
Yeah, but this one wasn't really multiverse. This was like,
and that's what I'm saying. But I think we maybe allow a little more stretch in our superhero stories, whereas in 2011 maybe we didn't.
We had less. I agree with this. We had less cosmic taste back then than I think we do now. I think Guardians of the Galaxy primarily, but others have come along and said, "Hey, it's actually really fun out here, and it's ridiculous and over the top, but you can make good stories around it, and there can be a talking tree and a tiny raccoon man, and these things can work." And maybe I at least feel like my brain's a little more primed for it as a result of that. So I think you're onto something.
I think also going into it, you guys had the luxury of going into it with your expectations set low.
On the floor,
yes,
baby.
Exactly. Yeah. And when I saw this in theaters, I will say that I enjoyed seeing it more this most recent time than I did seeing it in the theaters originally and being like, oh wow, okay, this, and come on, this is right after seeing a Hulk movie, an Iron Man first movie, like
Was this supposed to be that? Was it supposed to be Iron Man
absolutely.
for DC?
Yeah, I think so.
Because this was the first DC movie to come out after the MCU started getting established. Is that right or no?
Yeah, from my recollection, doesn't mean it's right. Just means from my recollection. I remember.
Well, this is prior to Superman.
Right,
Man
the
of Steel.
Begins or Return.
Man of
that was
Steel, right?
Batman.
Is this Man of Steel? I think that was it.
Man of Steel, yes.
I think this was prior to that. So I think they were maybe, I don't know. They were so disorganized with this. They were still kind of one-offing everything,
They were, right. There was still no connection to any of the disparate stories, which is you'd think that after seeing the success, they would say, "Oh, can we work something in to Flash to introduce another Justice League character, even if it's just a stinger, just to say, hey, these guys are all in the same universe," kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, and this one is famous for having a really troubled production. The director Martin Campbell, who's made a lot of really good stuff, also some stinkers, but he's made some. He made Casino Royale. It's an amazing movie,
right?
Yeah.
And the other one he made two James Bond
did
movies.
two Bonders. I forgot the other one though.
Right.
But anyway, him and Ryan Reynolds were fighting the whole
like
time. They hated each other.
Yeah, that's it. Ryan Reynolds he didn't want to do this. He wanted a superhero movie. He didn't want to do this one. So is that part of the problem as well? You don't have a truly invested, main actor. Maybe?
Well, I mean,
maybe.
I don't know if he wasn't invested in the beginning. There's some good things for him came out of this. He met Blake Lively and married her and have 3 kids now. Like, he's got something fun to say about it. But.
I didn't detect what you're talking about right now. I watched this movie with no understanding of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But I watched this movie and I was just like, why didn't they make another one? I'm confused. What happened here? Like, it was perfectly fine. I thought
they were planning on it.
It seemed to me like he was into it.
Basically.
Yeah, it didn't make any money. That's your reason.
That was the money.
That's your big reason. So really, right around this time, we'd gotten the Dark Knight. Also came out in 2008, along with Iron Man. Then you had Watchmen in 2009. You had Jonah Hex in 2010. But then, as far as real superhero stuff, it wouldn't be until 2011 with Green Lantern, and by that point, Marvel had already had the first 2 Iron Man movies, Thor, Incredible Hulk.
Yep.
I think Captain America: First Avenger still came out before this, or right around the same time.
Right around, it may have been 2012. No, that was Avengers.
Captain America was 2011, but it was July, and I don't remember. I don't know when
How appropriate.
This film came out.
Because the
June 15th. I'm sorry, June 17th.
And Avengers was the very next year, I think, right?
Yeah, Avengers was 2012. Yep.
Yeah, so things were about to kick off for them in a way that that's the thing you got to put your head in, is like, this is the timeline where Marvel is about to hit the gas.
Yeah.
And
right.
DC's going, oh, well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Like, they're caught a little unaware, And there was a feeling, I remember, around the release of this movie, which was like, what is DC even doing? It's not the same. Marvel's on a roll.
You're right, because Marvel had a plan for a universe, whereas DC was still thinking, we have Batman. There's the Batman movies.
Yeah, we got
Batman.
Batman.
Here we have our Green Lantern movies. There you go.
Yeah. You want a little Batman? We got Batman. They'll bring in the Batman.
Superman. We got a Superman movie.
Yeah.
If
DC were to approach Christopher Nolan, and say, hey, we see what Marvel's doing. Is there any way we could shoehorn another? Can we shoehorn a Clark Kent into your Dark Knight, or Dark Knight Rises, or maybe Wonder Woman appears, or like that? I'm sure he'd say no freaking way. Right. This is a self-contained. This is a universe where the only superhero in Gotham is Batman, and we're not having any other.
They weren't thinking past that. You're right. Totally right.
They weren't thinking past that. But I can't imagine Nolan being okay if they approached him and asked him if they could do it. Who knows if that even was a question? Because
yeah.
Another thing, I looked this up. It came out right after a bunch of juggernauts. Like Green Lantern.
Juggernaut's great.
So Green Lantern hits on June 17th.
Great.
Green Lantern hits on June 17th.
Yeah.
And that is right after, and I'm not gonna name them in the order they came out in April and May and early June, but it's right after The Hangover Part 2, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. It's right after Thor, like a couple of weeks before this movie, Thor.
Yeah.
And then Bridesmaids, the unexpected hit of that year, was right before this. So was Kung Fu Panda 2. And so was X-Men First Class. These movies all came out within like the 8 weeks before Green Lantern. And I'll bet you there was a certain like just exhaustion for audiences by that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think you're probably right. I mean, we were also Game of Thrones launched this year, and I think there was a shift in how much superhero stuff do you want, and that's all in the theaters. And Marvel's doing a killer job, so maybe we don't need that much of it. And Warner Brothers, let's focus on this other thing. I don't know. That may be a assumption that I can't make.
Is Ryan Reynolds a particular taste? Is he, because he seems like he would be polarizing to me.
Yes, and I wish I could just pull up this video I watched where a woman is interviewing a bunch of other women, asking them who likes Ryan Reynolds, and they all decided straight white men. That was seriously, they were like,
I would not be surprised.
They couldn't find a woman, especially a straight woman, who was interested in Ryan Reynolds, and people like us just love him.
Oh, they need to look in my house because
that's what I feel like. I feel like he's polarizing, even though he doesn't seem polarizing. It's kind of
I don't know if he's polarizing.
It's just because I'm a white man, but I've always felt like he is kind of like the universally liked dude. As a dude, you want to hang out with him. As a woman, you want to date him, but apparently not. If that's the
I don't know if it's as divisive as we're saying it is. I think the guy's I think he's a billionaire. And it's not just from acting; it's from other stuff. He's incredibly likable. I think if there's a division, it's small. Likeable. It must be small because I don't ever hear about it. I think he's like
right. But I mean, like when you say like Chris Hemsworth, it's like everybody's going to the movies. Let's go, come on.
Yeah,
yeah.
Sure.
And so, but yeah, with Ryan Reynolds, I feel like even though they're like, oh yeah, I like him. Like some people like really love him, and then other people are kind of like, yeah, I like him. He's all right.
Yeah. But there's not people that I don't know anybody who just hates him though. Or just
I didn't know. No, when I say polarizing, I guess that would be the assumption.
That's what I would think is polarizing.
Yeah,
is like opposite. Yeah.
Scott, according to Celebrity Net Worth, Ryan Reynolds is worth $350 million. He is way up there on the celebrity list. That is a very high number.
I thought he sold his wireless thing for like $1 billion.
Yeah, that
he apparently did not make as much in that deal as you might expect.
So probably had other investors and everybody else got their cut.
Whatever it was, wireless. What was it? It was their logo was a fox, but I can't remember. They were even
Mint
a sponsor of Coverville. Mint. Yeah.
Was it Mint Mobile? That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very tasty.
He is
made a mint.
In all of his ventures, he is like he has a stake in Aviation Gin, whereas I just associate him with Aviation Gin. I just think it's his little business,
Well, they've definitely made him the front of it, right? Like they've really put him on the package. For sure. But I and he's got this whole soccer team thing he's doing, and people literally lose their shit when they read about what's happening with Deadpool 3 and the fact that Hugh Jackman's coming back. We're gonna have Wolverine in there. Like these kinds of
that leaked photos just makes me so happy.
I know, I'm so excited about it. Although they had to stop production because of the strike, but hopefully they get back to that soon. But anyway, the point is like I think he is a monster draw. Was he that in 2011 the way he is now? I don't know.
How many years past two guys in a is it two
pizza place?
Pizza place, yeah. Two guys at pizza
two
place.
Two girls, one cup, one guy.
That's like
I can't remember.
That's like 30 years ago now. Isn't that like 30 years ago?
Really?
Something like that. It's like 90s TV, right? Or maybe early aughts. I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. But
and apparently, I know we talked a little bit about him and the director having not liking each other on set, but apparently his original choice for the role was Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Speaking of little talking squirrels or talking raccoons, yeah.
Yeah, and he never let him forget that is the rumor. Like on set, he would say the director would say things that were like slights, and Ryan Reynolds did not like that. I mean, it did that conflict did make for a really funny joke in
He seemed
Deadpool
very.
2.
Hal Jordan seems so. Did you guys? So we talked a little bit about. Did anybody read and really get into Hal Jordan as Green Lantern? There was many different Green Lanterns along the way. Hal Jordan being the one. Didn't he like end up killing everybody or something? Spoiler.
I thought wasn't it Guy Gardner that did the?
Guy Gardner screwed up.
Was it Guy Gardner that screwed up? Okay.
Yeah, but that's
This is another thing
multiverse shit.
in my childhood, and I know this is absolutely wrong. I know that now, but the argument was Marvel's better than DC because Marvel establishes a character and sticks with them, and DC is like, guess who's Batman now? And I'm like, I don't care if it's a different person.
No, they do that. They do that.
realize-
There's some places where I think they do it deftly, but you're not wrong. Like they definitely do that. It's like,
and it wasn't until more recently that I feel like Marvel started doing that with Miles Morales and Jane Foster Thor and Kiki Ironman Jr.
Kiki.
Ironheart.
Ironheart
There
Jr. Johnson Jr. Yeah.
Yes.
But-
Kiki, I think is her name. Is it Riri?
Kiki?
I'm sorry, Riri.
Riri. Kiki?
That felt
Riri.
like a really strong argument when I was a kid. Now I watch this movie and I'm like, oh, I wonder what the other Green Lanterns are like.
Yeah.
I love the other Green Lanterns.
Well, everybody wanted Jon Stewart, not the comedian, but the Jon Stewart, the black Green Lantern, because he's the one a lot of people grew up with in the cartoons, the Justice League cartoon in particular, and he's amazing. He's an incredible character. So when they announced here this week that we're going Guy Gardner, I was a little surprised. I really thought the popular choice would have been Jon Stewart, but
poor Nathan Fillion. I mean, he's gonna have to have the red hair bowl cut.
Oh yeah,
Chucky look. Oh
yeah,
man.
But also, you think about what James Gunn's up to. He's gonna have some fun with that, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He had fun with Nathan Fillion in the Suicide Squad. So
yeah, and they're dropping casting news on that left and right. The dude from Barry, the I can't think of his name. NoHo Hank, the actor. I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
He's gonna be. Forgot the name of the character. Gosh dang it! But anyways, they're just left and right dropping all these hints about who's going to be what.
Cool. I'm glad he's going to be in because he'd already dipped his toe into the DC stuff in the Gotham series as Victor Zsasz, which I thought was a great.
Oh,
it was
that's
great casting
perfect.
for him.
Yeah, that's really good. That was all before Barry, right? I think
that was before Barry.
Yeah. So his star's on the rise. He's got and James Gunn. I really do trust James Gunn's.
I do too.
Instincts here. He's already proven he can pull this shit off and also do it spectacularly and do it with characters that prior to the release of Guardians, everyone's like, what is Guardian? What even is that?
Yeah.
Right?
What weird 70s nightmare are you trying to make a movie out of? And instead it ends up being like some of the best the MCU's ever been.
And
you know what I couldn't
why?
get enough of? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because of the tone.
The tone. Okay.
The tone of Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie, is spot on what audiences wanted.
Yeah.
And
not Green Lantern?
Well, that's why I'm questioning that audiences didn't enjoy this. It has a lot of the same tone. It's got, that fun-loving superhero junk.
It does. It's like very much that way.
Well, I just and when they go to space, I'll go to my grave saying this. This is what surprised me the most. The space bits, meaning the Green Lantern Corps, the lore behind that, the Guardians and their weird, stupid heads, and all that stuff. That's all my favorite bits. Now, you could argue or make an argument that some of the CG doesn't hold up. Fine, whatever. But when they're out there doing all that, he's getting trained by Michael Clark Duncan, and he's hanging out with Jeffrey Rush and all that. All of those things are cool. I really dug on all of that. Where the movie was just a little tepid for me was on the planet when we were just hanging around on Earth.
So you weren't having fun with Angela Bassett and Peter Sarsgaard on the ground. Angela Bassett with her
they
face.
were just props.
They're props.
That was the weakest Amanda Waller. I mean, I know she doesn't have powers or anything, but give me. I mean, Viola Davis just did so much more with that character that
it was terrible. Angela Bassett is an amazing actress, and they end up just throwing her
against glass. Yeah. She becomes one of those Garfield suction cup things that was
boink.
Yeah, she'd get hers at Marvel. Sorry,
I really thought Peter Sarsgaard was the best thing in the movie.
Oh, I agree. Couldn't stop looking at him. Yeah. He was amazing.
He really, the way he's portrayed,
such a weirdo,
fits the way he acts, and it was awesome. Whereas,
keep growing.
I mean, this is just my opinion. Please understand. I everybody's got opinions. Mine are not always right. Taika Waititi was terrible in this movie, and it made me dislike
his character.
It made me dislike Taika Waititi in a way that I don't I don't like that this movie did that
Well,
to me.
keep in
I don't
mind
understand.
we are 5 years away from What We Do in the Shadows. He'd already directed Shark versus whatever the hell it was. I love that movie. He'd done a little
versus
things.
Eagle?
Yeah, Shark versus Eagle. His acting side was very spotty, like this. Like I just wouldn't, and we wouldn't even know
It was
it.
just so distracting too to hear him with do his American accent. Like,
Why?
it was just so
Why?
I don't know why.
How many times on Film Sack do I have to ask this question? Why? Why didn't they just let him have?
why
his
didn't-
Oh, I
usual
see what you're
accent?
saying.
Yeah. He's not
Why?
getting you, Ibit. He's saying why.
Why, Ibit? Why?
Why not keep it? Yeah. Why?
Yeah, let him do.
Why wouldn't-
Let him have band meetings and have that voice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
How are there so many
Yeah.
people in Hollywood making movies asking actors to change their accent? Like, why? Why are they doing that?
They turned right around and did.
called acting.
It was obviously more recent, but that new Free Guy deal. He's in
Oh
that.
yeah, that was
with
really
him.
good.
Yeah.
He's a superhero again. What?
Yeah, but he gets to hang around with Taika Waititi again, different role. But they let him have his accent in that, and that's good. So they learned their lesson, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd much rather have. I think Waititi's strongest when he is playing some weird ancillary character like Gronk or whatever his name is in Guardians.
Yeah,
Or not
Thor,
Guardians,
an
Thor.
introverted scientist wearing a robe and glasses.
Yeah, or directing. I mean, that's where I want, or do both. Fine, whatever. But I don't like him in these like quirky. Ooh, he's the smart computer guy role, and I don't know.
Yeah,
It bugs
yeah.
me. But anyway, you give the CG another 10 years, and most of the stuff looks as good as anything else we've seen. The lore is good. I felt like the movie. Again, you go in with like below level expectations.
Basement level expectations. The ending battle still is weak. Just pulling him closer to the sun and then punching him so that the gravity pulls him into the sun feels like a
Cheat.
we need a quick ending. What do we do?
Yeah.
The other space stuff, 100% with you. Love the stuff on Oa. I think that's really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I
They
can
really
watch a whole
started
movie
to-
of that.
Yeah.
They really started too strong with Mark Strong's Sinestro. They really should have picked a lower level
Oh, I love
Yes.
him so
boss
much.
fight.
I love him
Because he was. I mean, I love the animation. I loved his because it kind of almost pulled a little bit of Sam Raimi kind of horror thing where Sinestro is kind of like just billowy and cloudy and just kind of just rolls in places. Very.
Oh,
scary,
you're not
horror
talking
kind of
about Sinestro. You're talking about the main bad guy in this was not Sinestro.
You're right. It's
Parallax.
Parallax.
Yeah.
Parallax,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, Parallax, and that tech was cool. That looked great. I thought.
Yeah.
It looked great. That thing, when he's chasing the people through New York or Coast City and they're all freaking out and scared, that should have been enough fear. He didn't need to go after the woman that just fell on the ground and say, "Oh, there's some fear."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, some
Like, no,
fear.
Just
You're at
spit
the
out your
fear-
pocket.
You're at the fear buffet. You don't need to ask the guy behind the counter, "Are there going to be more fish sticks?"
Yeah, you're exactly right. But it's a big nebulous thing that sometimes that falls flat, and I think it fell a little flat here in the end because it's just not. When you're that menacing and that destructive, you're not really all that destructive at all. Like you're just kind of boring.
And it's too hand wavy. You come up with a villain that is that powerful, but you can introduce too many things to say, "Oh, yeah, he totally has a counter for this. Oh no, this would be his weakness," and you just feel like you do it on the fly. Like, why was the sun? The sun is big and yellow. That should have been
Right. That should have been.
Yeah, a
that
lot of
should have been
yellow
bad.
light right there.
yeah,
It wasn't fear, obviously, but still.
yeah.
But yeah,
So-
the Sinestro stuff, I like Mark
Yeah,
Strong,
yeah.
and I really liked him kind of saying, "Oh, all right, Kilrog's training. You step aside for a second. I'm really going to train this guy." But you look at the dude, and how does the Green Lantern Corps not look at him and say, I think that guy's going to be evil?
Yeah, no, it's always been that way though.
He's
All
going to
the-
be evil eventually.
You look at all those comics, both old and new, and Sinestro has always been the little thin mustache, the John Waters mustache, and the dumb hot forehead and all that.
and it's in his name.
Yeah, and it's in his
Come on.
name.
The Eddie Munster Widow's Peak, the
Yeah.
pointy ears is like,
Yeah.
could we have found somebody for the Green Lantern Corps that didn't look like the devil?
Exactly. But I did like his arc in this. I liked how
Oh, yeah.
he's really it's kind of Magneto in a
Yeah.
way. So, Magneto's really his interest is I kind of want to do
Purity,
good,
mutant
but
purity.
mutant purity. And it's like he's sort of like that. And by the end, obviously they leave us a stinger that's supposed to make us think there's a sequel on the way. that we never get. But
They wanted one.
oh yeah, they totally did. They really wanted
You're
a
not
franchise.
getting
Yeah, they didn't get it. I don't know. I'm with Randy's initial thoughts where I just feel like this is maligned for no reason, and it probably hurts to put Ryan Reynolds at the time anyway in a movie where he's known for comedic stuff. That's what he's known for up till now.
Right. I mean, I called him Van Wilder for 10 years.
Right. Right. It's hard not to. That's where he comes from. And his charm and his likability is a lot of it is his humor. But if you're going to put him in a thing where I'm supposed to now take that character seriously, it's harder to do. Deadpool's a better fit because Deadpool is all about snark
He's
mixed
a
with
roguish
serious.
rapscallion.
Yeah.
And you need a character that's a roguish rapscallion. If they would have gone a little bit more serious with this, would that have been, we talked about that being like people weren't ready for the comedic take until later on.
I think recasting would have solved it. I think if you'd have had, and again, I like him, but I think if you'd have put Bradley Cooper in there like the director wanted, that would have at least set it up to be less of a what are you expecting from this actor? I don't know. There's just a weird expectation trade-off going on that
I feel like we might have still ended up with a Liam Neeson Darkman kind of situation if you go too serious with
Oh, I love Darkman though.
Do you love it? Do you love it in nostalgia?
My memory of my memory of Darkman is that it's awesome, but but even now I go, oh, Sam Raimi, freaking that guy from L.A. Law that was so weird, and Liam Neeson all wrapped up in band. Like it still sounds good to me, but
it's a fun movie, but it's not a good movie.
I'll bet you money if we finally film sack that I'm going to be surprised how not hold up it is. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think you're probably dead on.
I'm still surprised that we haven't film sacked. If you were to ask me, I would have said, "Oh, we totally film sacked."
Yeah, we totally did. Like 10 years ago.
No, we didn't.
Totally
we did not. We never did. I wish we did. We should. Let's do it.
Something else I read, and I don't know this to be true, but I just read this in my study of what went wrong here, is that a lot of early audiences saw this in 3D, and the 3D wasn't good. That's what I read.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this was early in 3D, and we all know that even now 3D live action stuff does not work as well as 3D CGI stuff.
Right.
So it does not surprise me.
2009 to 2011, that was kind of your peak era for everybody trying to push 3D in theaters, right?
Yeah, I remember Clash of the Titans, and one glaring thing that just took me right out of the movie was somebody hiding behind some leaves, and the 3D effect was so borked on that their face that was hidden behind the leaves was in front of the leaves in the 3D.
Ew, weird.
That they were hiding behind. It was like
Everybody's in the audience going, oh.
That was, I probably, I don't know if I made an audible noise, but it wouldn't surprise me if I did oh, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gnarly.
Well, and then, yeah.
I was just gonna.
Can we come back to the why CGI costume on this? Why CGI mask? Why CGI costume?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Why not?
Do we feel like comic book costumes, if they were true to the look of the comic books, just
let's ask Wolverine in his new Deadpool appearance.
Yeah, but they're doing that. They're being cheeky with that, Yeah, they're like
if
going.
Come right out of the gate with Wolverine and those yellow togs. Would we have liked it as much?
The yellow togs they currently have, I think so, but I think that took a lot of years of experimenting with what works, because it would have not looked like that back when the original X-Men came out.
I remember the original X-Men movie making a joke. Right?
They made a joke about it. Yeah.
They joked about it.
And that is always the case. Like there's probably a dozen superhero movies where the superhero finally puts on the costume and then immediately there's a joke. Oh, it messed us up at the cleaners or something, like immediately.
Yeah.
And like, I guess there's a big difference. Like this is like one of the biggest differences between comic books and movies, right? There's something about comic books. You can be more, you're just like overtly weird.
Not to mention
what you're showing, right?
Well, not to mention human bodies don't look like we draw. Like comics are like what the characters are like 8 or 9 foot tall or something like that in general appearance.
Right.
So I mean, when you try to translate that, it's just going to fail.
This image I just put in our Discord is what I think of it when I think of the Bright costume. I think you could probably get away. You could find a way to make that work.
And you have to do what they've done recently, which is kind of, leather armory padded kind of thing. Like even the Deadpool stuff, which I feel like is is true. The Daredevil Netflix is one of the earliest things I remember saying, all right, they did something that made it true to the red Daredevil costume, but still...
I think Spider-Man costume is maybe the hardest one of all because it literally is just a skin-tight costume.
Yeah.
And boy...
But they did that. They did okay with that with the Sam Raimi stuff, I think.
Yeah, like I said, they've
right.
come a long way.
Yeah.
Right, you get the skinniest actor in the world, and you put a bodysuit on them, and maybe you build a little padding in to make them more muscular.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the way that they had this thing pulsating, I guess,
my 2023 eyes thought this looked fine. It was fine.
I don't. You know what? It was fine when they were just working, getting shit done. It's when it was a problem is when they were pointing it out how dumb it is. Like the movie wanted to make a point of like when he showed it off to Taika Waititi in his room for the first time.
Yeah.
And by the way, having to charge a ring on your freaking lantern, that is stupid. But anyway,
I love it.
When he does that and he pulls back and goes poof and it shows up, now we're having to look at a full frame Ryan Reynolds fake CG looking bullshit and we're pointing it out. When you're doing that, then I'm like, this is dumb. I don't like this. But when you're out fighting and doing action shit, it's fine. Don't be so navel gazy at your stupid costumes. Like let them be. I just don't think
it needs to be, and it just doesn't need to be animated. Like it can be. Still don't know why you'd make it CGI, but it doesn't have to be little veins of light going through it like it's a heated mattress pad.
Well, and maybe that was demanded by the 3D. Like if we're going to do something in 3D, you have to have elements that you can that you can focus on, right, or pull focus away from.
Sure,
yeah,
but
right.
I don't know. I don't think this is the argument. I don't think this is the problem that initial audiences come out of this movie and go, "Oh, it looks stupid." I don't know.
I think it was the tone,
like
you said. Yeah.
It's got to be on the script. We want to talk about casting or whatever, but it's got to be the script. The script itself is where I am like coming away from this movie, making my own thoughts about it, and I thought it was fine. I really do. I really thought it was fine.
It was fine. I would watch it again.
Fine is a great review for this film. It's fine.
Yeah, it is fine. It's not the garbage poo that they said it was in 2011, and it's not amazing either. It's just fine.
Maybe it has gotten a little better. Like maybe because of what came after it that we have seen. Maybe it's one of those rare movies where we can look at it now and say, actually, that's better than I would have thought it was.
Yeah, we've collectively come around a little bit. I think that's probably true. Mm-hmm. And also just, we are sometimes victims of what society is telling us to think. And at the time, and not to get into a big esoteric conversation, but at the time, everybody was saying, this is a giant bomb. Don't go see it. So what did a lot of us do? Not go see it.
Which is why I wrote down the words "last action hero." I think the best example of this, and there's a term for it, and for some reason my brain isn't coming up. Oh, ahead of its time is the term. Okay. And I genuinely believe that Last Action Hero, if you watch it for the first time more than 10 years after it comes out, you're going to go, oh, that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. And I'm feeling the same about Green Lantern, that it's ahead of its time, and it probably would have done better if it was baked for 5 years or something.
If no one else here has seen the Arnold documentary that's on Netflix, you should, because there's a whole sequence where he talks about how devastating people's reactions to Last Action Hero were. Like Arnold, he seems like he still smarts from it a little bit. It's like it really bothered him because he thought he was.
I really like that movie.
That sounds like Sylvester Stallone. Did all right.
I did. Well, that's because I was standing.
I really like the movie.
There you go.
He's in that documentary too. But
it's just a movie.
I can't recommend that, by the way, to listeners enough. They need to watch it. It's so good. Cool. Yeah, film sackers in particular really should watch it. Cool. Here's some trivia on set. All right, so Ryan Reynolds, who played the protagonist, famously hated the film. He has admitted to having a poor working relationship with the director, and really wanted to see the movie do badly and financially, so he didn't have to come back. We know about the reference in 2016's Deadpool. where, let's see, he references the Green Lantern in a negative way when he requests a suit that is neither green nor animated while being rolled onto the medical room gurney. In the sequel, he goes back into time and prevented himself from ever taking the Green Lantern role.
Yep.
So 2 movies, 2 jokes. I don't know how else he proved the guy hated it, but that was it. And then, I already mentioned it. We haven't talked about her at all, but Blake Lively's in this. She's your female lead. And they got married and had 3 kids, or 4 kids. So it hasn't been that bad, you know?
No.
Got a family out of the deal. He didn't have to be him. He didn't have to go be Hal Jordan again. She's beautiful.
We didn't.
I sort of got that I didn't know until I read the trivia that they had 4 kids.
Yeah.
Like, though they are so good about keeping their private life private.
That's good. And we didn't talk a lot about Blake Lively because her character, Carol Ferris, doesn't do a lot. Neither does Hector Hammond, Peter Sarsgaard. He's just really fun to watch. But they don't really develop the characters. The only thing that's going on here is this triangle of daddy issues. Everybody's got daddy issues.
Yeah.
And I don't know. She, like I said, they just really do much for her.
To the point that when Hal Jordan goes to space and meets Sinestro, they immediately create a new father-son relationship so they can have daddy issues too.
Yeah. True story.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Wasn't he with I thought he was with I can't think of her name, Black Widow, for a long time before. Weren't they married or something?
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah. Hold on. I can't believe
he was. Yeah, they married in 2008 and they divorced around the time this movie came out.
That's right. That's right. I think this was a bit of a pivot for them in his life. This was a moment of like, I'm moving from one hot Hollywood lady to another. See you later. And he was with, I think he was with Sandra Bullock for a while.
Oh, interesting.
I think he has a history of like, I think he has a history of meeting these people on set and then like getting it on. I think that's the thing.
Sure.
It's fine.
So
it's fine.
Let me give you the rundown. Reynolds dated Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
Oh, really? Interesting.
He actually
ironic.
They go to the movies?
Actually gave her an engagement ring.
When he found out she was going out with the guy from Small House, Full House, Small House.
Oh, I thought you were making a go down on him in a theater.
That's what I was going.
Right.
Yeah, but isn't that him? That's the guy from Full House she's talking about.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's what she's talking about.
And he was like in his
Coulier.
30s, and she was like 18 or something. It was weird.
It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah,
it's a jagged pill. It's a real jagged pill.
It's a real jagged pill.
According to the history of Ryan Reynolds, the divorce with Scarlett Johansson was they make it very clear that it was announced before he met Blake Lively.
Right.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I want to be clear.
Yeah. Let me be clear about this. But didn't he did date Sandra Bullock for a bit, right?
She's and Johansson's just fine with Colin Jost. That's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's fine.
Yes.
She landed very well on her feet with that situation.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that, Scott. I'm seeing Alanis Morissette, Scarlett Johansson, Blake Lively, and that's the history of Ryan Reynolds.
Well, they did hug naked in that movie.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that happened. So I'm not saying that causes anyone to date. I'm just saying it's a thing you don't forget.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He's got some interesting friends. Like he's really good friends with Michael J. Fox. That makes sense because they're from the same place, right?
Yeah.
They're from Vancouver. He's really good friends with Morena Baccarin, from Serenity.
Yeah.
Brian's cat.
That's just interesting.
companion.
I can't. I mean, obviously she ended up being in Deadpool, but like they knew each other for a while before that. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's like he dates all his co-stars in a weird way.
No, but I think it's just a friend of his,
Yeah.
and I can't. It's just a interesting, like, I don't know.
Baccarin's great in Deadpool, by the way.
Yeah,
I love
she
her in
is.
that. Yeah, I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it because I associate her with Firefly so hardcore that I wasn't sure, but she's great.
Let's talk. I want to talk about Deadpool a little bit because I don't know if we'll ever sack it. I don't know that's. I don't know. It's
tough because there is so much comedy there. I think it would be a hard one for us to do.
And it feels like someone ages ago had this concept for Ryan Reynolds before they even knew Ryan Reynolds existed.
Right.
And it's it's such a perfect fit that it feels supernatural to me. I can't can't shake that feeling.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe we. I don't know. Part of me thinks that one could be sacked in a few more years or something. I don't know why I feel that way. It just feels like maybe we could. I don't know why. Brian's not wrong about the comedy level. That's a lot. We usually not avoid them, but we don't. They're not on our list.
We have a harder time with them. We when we've done them, and it's got to be the comedy that's not self-aware.
Yeah, they're making. If they're making fun of themselves. If they're making fun of themselves already, it's hard for us to also.
But we did like Hot Fuzz, and I think of those movies like Hot Fuzz in a weird way. Like they're comedic, but they have these edgy moments.
Yeah, we watched The Replacements, which is just one joke after another, but they're jokes about football. So you're forgiven if you don't get them all.
I forgot.
And like that's perfect for me to sack. Like it's perfect because it gives you a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
I love Deadpool so much. And it seems, I don't know, it seems like there should have been more around it. There should have been something more that came of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You think it's a little weird we haven't even mentioned Tim Robbins in this movie? Andy Dufresne? Yeah.
He's just a daddy issue. So
or Howard the Duck comic book actor?
Yeah, he's just in there. And he gets, I found myself, this is terrible, but I was actually rooting for him getting burned in that room.
Burned.
I was like, go for it, dude. Let's do this. Let's get this done. And I really like him and everything. He's great in this new Silo series that I just finished. And my wife.
He played well. Then he did good because you were supposed to hate him.
Yeah, but it's just weird because he is pretty two-dimensional in this. Like,
yeah. He and Waller are just props, really, for that fight.
Yeah.
This is our 4th Tim Robbins movie and our 4th Angela Bassett movie on Film Sack. You are not going to believe me when I say this. It's our first Ryan Reynolds movie. We've never sacked a Ryan Reynolds movie.
That seems strange.
Yeah, but what else that's maybe not a comedy? What else would we have
Blade 3?
done?
Maybe Blade 3.
Oh, yeah, that's any time now, right?
Yeah, we ought to get around to Blade 3.
That's easily on our list. But
we've probably already done it in our heads and just don't even realize it yet. We've done Blade 3.
If it had come out more than 5 years ago, I think we would have sacked Free Guy by this point.
Yeah.
That's just it's just so sackable.
You could have told me that we did, and I might have believed you because when I saw it, it felt like I was watching it for Film Sack. It was later. It was on DVD.
I could see us doing Life. The 2017 sci-fi we're stuck out in space and there's something in this jar.
Oh yeah, that one's awesome. I actually like that. That one takes a turn.
I never saw Life. I'll do that. Let's do that.
Save it.
Life.
Yeah, that actually would be a good one. Oh, Ripped, R.I.P.D. would be a good one for Film Sack.
Yeah.
He's in Smokin' Aces, and I would have bet money that we've already sacked Smokin' Aces, but we have not.
And we didn't do Wolverine Origins, did we? I don't think we
should.
That is so.
It's really
ripe
bad
for Sack.
But isn't it great? Part of me. I mean, I hate that movie. I think it's bad.
Yeah.
But part of me loves that Ryan Reynolds starts his role as Deadpool all wrong. By the way, his mouth shut. It's all so
the worst
up.
Deadpool ever. Yeah.
But then gets to be him. Yeah. That's to me. That's like some weird providence. That's just
they turned it around.
Yeah. We've had this discussion before on Film Sack. I love that movie, and I can't take people
Wolverine
hating
Origins.
that movie. Yes,
that movie's so bad. You know why? Because Bean Fork's in it, and everyone loves Bean Fork. Plays the Blob. Yeah.
Yeah.
As I've said before, for me, it's Liev Schreiber. He is the best thing in the movie.
Sure.
I can't I will go watch Wolverine Origins today just to see his portrayal of Creed in a movie.
Do we get Gambit in there? I don't remember. Do we?
Not till the second one, I think. No, he's not in the Japanese one.
Yeah,
where do we get Gambit? Because we do get him in something, right? Don't we? Or did we? Did I just visualize that when they were talking about Gambit?
He shows up in the X-Men. What is it? Not Stranger Days. What the hell is it? Is it
the Days of Future Past?
Days of Future? Is that
no? I don't think so. Oh no, it is Origins. He's in Origins. I just looked at
Origins.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not in there.
I don't remember him.
Oh yeah,
he is. He is absolutely in First Class and Days of Future Past. Yes, he is.
Really? Mm-hmm. I do not remember anything.
I don't remember it either from those.
I really like Days. That's one of those ones. It's like I shouldn't like.
Who plays him in Days of
it.
Future Past? Because it's not what's his face?
It's not Friday Night Light guy.
What's his beak?
Taylor Kitsch.
It's not Channing Tatum.
No,
I think it is.
That's who they were going to use for the Gambit movie.
Right.
You know what, man? These old X-Men movies are so confusing.
They really are.
I agree. It's a bit of a mishmash, man. I only remembered Brian Cox was Stryker in the second one. That's my memory of anything.
That was good too.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't see
Peter Dinklage. No, I'm just kidding.
First Class.
I mean, they had like 45 X-Men appear in Days of Future Past, but I don't see
Warpath. He was so good in that.
Yeah, we had Warpath. We had Colossus again.
Havoc.
Yeah.
Some of this may have been like throwbacks too, like little scenes and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think we've had Gambit other than.
You might be right.
There's no
I
Gambit.
swore it was in there though. Maybe I'm getting that.
Yeah, no Gambit. That same year, I didn't realize that either. First Class came out same year as this bad movie, or as Green Lantern. This better than it should be movie. Now that we look at it, that feels like so not that long ago. First Class. That's weird. It feels like way sooner, but no, sir.
Oh, Gambit was supposed to appear in X2, but they cut the scene.
Oh yeah.
He was in an early draft of Last Stand, but they cut him.
Yeah, out of there. They were just like,
that's it.
They were like, you know what? This is a bad. Last Stand's a really horrible movie. Let's not make it worse with a Cajun card slinger. Let's not do it. Let's not make it worse.
Yeah, that'd be another one we could easily sack is Last Stand.
Well, I could easily share some clips if you guys are so inclined to hear them.
Please. Well, let's see. I have a chick in the bucket before we.
Oh, let's do it. I love chicks in the bucket. Let me play the thing for it. Hold on. There. No, wait. Where? Okay. I've lost it. That's great. Oh, here it is.
Grab a bucket.
Okay. Go ahead.
The two astronauts floating around on that satellite that don't have any sort of spacecraft near them whatsoever. They are stuck out there, and I don't know how they ever get home.
I didn't even think about it. You're right. They're free floating.
They're just free floating on a satellite, waving at the Green Lantern as he goes by, and that's it.
That doesn't work that way. We can't just kick him off the planet and have him float out to the thing and fix it.
It would have been really fun, though, if when Hal Jordan goes to space the first time, he stops and saves the astronauts.
Yeah.
Like they've just been floating along for hours and hours.
Even better, he actually knocks them. He actually knocks them out of orbit or something. Has to come back. Oh, shit.
Perfect. Yes.
You guys think we're past the stage of having to do origin stories anymore? I get so sick of them. I'm so tired of them. Like even ones I don't know yet, I almost rather just be like, no, just have them be mid-hero. Let's go.
Yeah,
Do you want that with the Fantastic Four? When they do the Fantastic Four, do you want them just to jump in and say, "Hey, we've been in this other universe. Now we're in your universe."
I like that. I like when they show up because they've been in another universe.
Because otherwise, because otherwise it's like, well, where were you when frickin' Thanos was? That's how
I agree with that. And if you want to reference things like if Hank's having a moment of depression or something about why he's a big giant orange rock man, then you can do some flashbacky stuff and you can play with it. Hank, did I say what I say?
You said Hank, but we call him Benjamin Grimm.
Oh yeah. Wait, why do I call him Hank?
No.
He looks like a Hank.
You want him
because
to be
the actor played Hank.
No, hold on. Why did I call him Hank? I need to understand my brain. Why did I do that?
Because the Beast is Hank.
That's why I did it. That's why I did it. I was thinking of the Beast. Sorry.
Nailed it. I'm thinking of the Beast.
Henry is what I mean. Wait, not Henry. Yeah, Henry.
Benjamin Grimm.
Benjamin Grimm.
Grimm.
Who's Henry? I guess Hank.
Henry is Hank.
that their child? Is that one of the children? Is that
Holy
Henry?
shit!
Is that one of the kids?
Yeah. That serious glitch. I got to reboot. I got to reboot later. But anyway, my point is, you can do that with like look back at stuff. But I want them to go straight into it. Let's have it start out like Guardians 2. Where they're just going at it on something. And you don't have to, people are smart. We intuit things. We know. If they ever do it again to Batman, I'm going to riot. It's like, stop. We get it. Pearls on the ground.
Batman's we definitely don't need another.
Batman's origin story is the quickest, most pointless. We get it. You're an orphan. All right.
You kind of, that is a really good point because we get introduced to Hank Pym in the Ant-Man movies, Michael Douglas. Yeah. In post-superhero, we don't get his origin story until it's like a little tiny flashback that just kind of explains that he was developing.
That's a creative way of
Howard
doing
Stark.
It, right? You're doing a creative thing, which is you are already a thing. It's already established, and somebody else is now being pulled into being that thing, which is its own origin story, but it feels fresh because you're not retreading.
And giving us Fantastic Four and not having to do the whole cosmic rays thing right away, I think it's a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
And, I'm with you on that, actually.
In the case of Green Lantern, especially, an origin story depersonalizes the character. So, and let me just explain that. So you are Hal Jordan. You're an amazing test pilot. You're cocky. You're super, super brave. And this is why you're going to become Green Lantern, because you're so brave. You have bravery beyond belief. Suddenly a guy shows up from outer space and gives you this gear and dies, and you are so confused. You don't know what to do with it. You don't know what it all means, right? That is a story and a way of telling a story that personalizes the character. The audience is now connected to his confusion and his interest and so forth.
Right.
If you start instead with, we're in outer space and they're crazy magic people, you completely lose that. When he gets the gear and he starts to have his confusion and whatever, I've already set. I've been told this whole other story, right? So I'm just like sitting there waiting. Come on, Hal Jordan, figure it out. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
What a bullshit qualifier too, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find the bravest person. Okay.
Right, in this sector. Yeah.
All right.
But do you see what I'm saying? Like, the backstory is too much information for me to really enjoy the character.
You need it for the training, though. But do you just go right from he's got the ring and he's already been trained and then do flashbacks to the training? Or do you start him at the training if you're doing this thing and just avoid the whole, like, the ring found him and Boba Fett gave him the ring?
Well, here's the problem. The Boba Fett moment, Tamura Morrison, who plays Abin Sur, in the comics, Abin Sur is one of the coolest freaking characters. And it's often very briefly that you get to see him when they do retellings or whatever, but he's so cool. This movie didn't spend enough time with Abin Sur. He's awesome. And I think that's a problem. So the origin story would have been better had the origin been more about the origin of the rings and the core. And then Hal Jordan getting swept up into it. You don't need to spend too much time with him trying to humanize everything.
Right. You could just go right into, your narration at the beginning goes right into, and here the Green Lantern Corps, founded to protect the universe, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And Earth's hero is Hal Jordan, da-da-da-da, and go right into him being already in hero mode, and then double back for a flashback if you need to do a setup.
And spend more time with Jeffrey Rush, man. That guy's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was really good.
His character, way underdeveloped. I wanted
his bird.
more. His bird fish.
Man.
Freaking fish bird, whatever the hell that was.
That's right. Yeah, yes, right. Fish bird.
So this is, and it was Michael Clark Duncan, very small role here for Michael Clark Duncan, but I'm pretty sure he died right around then, didn't he? 2011 or so?
Hold on.
It's not in
2012, September, so a year later.
Yeah, it sucks. That was a loss. That guy's great.
It was a huge loss.
Yeah, for sure.
I got these right here.
Okay.
These here clips that I have.
Okay.
We'll start with this one about being afraid. Here it is.
You are afraid.
Good. You're afraid. Good. Yeah. Pretty excited about it. Here's Andy Dufresne saying things.
Carl isn't just blowing smoke to get a contract, General. Your staff, these contractors, my office, we've all been part of this from the ground up.
Well, I appreciate that, Senator.
But today, the rubber meets the road.
Ooh, the rubber and the road are meeting.
The rubber meets the road.
Anybody been watching Silo?
I have not yet.
Watched red on air light, but I beat it.
Are you brand new here?
I beat it. What am I talking, a video game here? I watched that show every week until it was done.
Unlocked.
And then I'm in the middle. I'm on episode 4 again with Kim because she wants to see it, and I love it even more the second time. And I'm in the middle of the 3rd book. So yes, Silo and I are having sex with each other. Basically, that's what's going on.
Dunaway, you need to watch it.
Gross.
It's so
Haven't
good.
Started, but it's one of the next things on my list.
So good, and he's great in that. Plays Bernard. All right, here's something about sleeping in. Oh yeah. There's a pattern here. We'll get to it again later. Here you go.
I used to sleep in. Then I turned 11.
All right. She likes to do this.
The best line she had in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Here's Taika Waititi being boring.
Yes, Mr. Garris. We are go for task.
It's just boring. It's like not a big deal. Hurry up and make vampires funny.
Gee.
It's a cheesy line.
Yeah. You're not scared, are you?
And Nazis.
No, yeah. Sure. Here's a cheese line.
You're not scared, are you, Dad?
Let's just say it's my job not to be.
Oh, come on, dude.
Oh,
Wow.
See, if he was still alive.
I do like how, right after that, he gives his jacket to the kid and says, keep this warm for me. And I'm thinking, it would have been a lot warmer if you would have worn it on the plane you just crashed.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what else? That looked like one of those old Coke commercials. Remember those? The Mean Joe Green thing?
Mean Joe Green giving the kid his jacket in the football tunnel.
All I could think of during that. The acting is quite poor, I wrote, for this scene. So here's that.
It does matter. Never mind that you crashed a brand new F-35. You broke the rules of engagement. You sacrificed your wingman.
I don't know, dude. She's fine and
she was so much better in that movie where she's trapped on the beach with the shark.
Oh, is that good? I always wanted to see that.
That's good. It's great suspense.
I don't know what movie this is, but if you're trapped on a beach with a shark, you're gonna win. Oh, you mean the shark is in the water? He's not on the beach.
Water.
Okay,
yeah, the shark's in the water. The shallows. Yeah,
the shallows. Yeah, I kept thinking of water, which is another great. Shalalos.
I mean, to see that, I never did.
I mean, we like her outfit, right? In the shallows.
Yeah.
Like
Well, that's.
I haven't seen it.
That's not forgettable,
Wrong.
but it's still I think a really good movie aside from the 2 hours of Blake Lively in a bikini, but still it's
yeah. I like her. I think she's compelling and interesting. I just don't think she's
just,
given a lot to work with here.
A little cardboardy in this.
Yeah. Her second childhood reference. So here we go. We're back to I'm not 11 anymore, and now she says this.
By the way, it doesn't mean I'll never get in a cockpit again. It isn't one way or the other. That's the way a child looks at things, and we aren't children anymore.
It's like just keeps reminding him we're not kids anymore. We're not 11 anymore.
Yeah.
You have daddy issues. I do too.
There's no way that wasn't like the 14th take of that line.
right, because surely there was another take where she didn't absolutely overemphasize the first syllable of cockpit.
Yeah. Yeah. Pitt was left squandered.
Seriously, play it again, and she will blast the first syllable of cockpit.
Here comes cockpit.
By the way, it doesn't mean I'll never get in a cockpit again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cockpit.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Like Hal Jordan. It's like that.
Hal Jordan.
I wonder if they've ever made a Green Lantern parody porn.
Oh, I guarantee.
I didn't know there was a Flesh Gordon until recently, and I'm like, what is this?
I remember hearing about that when I was like 10.
Young. Yeah. Exactly.
Weird.
I remember looking for the Queen Flash Gordon, the Sam Jones Flash Gordon, and stumbling on that somewhere. I'm like, that ain't
Flash Gordon. Where are they shooting lasers?
Why isn't Ming the Merciless wearing pants?
He
Mingo.
Really is merciless.
Needed his Mingo phone. Here's a bunch of haze. All right, you like that?
Haze and nose.
Yeah, the little hey no in there. It was that's when he was trying to keep Abin Sur from dying. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, all right.
Here's aware and assessing.
We are aware of the threat. We are assessing the situation.
I like the Guardians. They're stupid looking, but I love their voices.
It's such a committee.
Yeah.
Oh,
Committee
such a committee of like
big heads, tiny bodies.
We're going to have a PowerPoint presentation developed shortly where we talk about how we're going to address the situation.
Yeah, they're pretty cornball.
We can't even. How are we going to do anything? We can't even clear out the one seat that guy had that is half broken.
That went the yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here's your discount. Make-A-Wish Amanda Waller. Enjoy.
Dr. Hammond, Dr. Amanda Waller, I must apologize for the theatrics, but the government does like its protocols. Please.
It's amazing she'll go on to get an Academy Award nomination for a Marvel film, you know?
Yeah.
She's a good actress. It's just this is such shit for her. This is just bad.
It's just wasted. Yeah, it didn't even need to be Amanda Waller. Like it could have been anybody.
Mm-hmm. Here's one. Fish guy.
Well, your ring translator is functioning properly. Your mask will appear when protection of your identity is required. There is no need for it on Oa.
Talking fish.
Actually, my race is Zidarian. Our DNA does somewhat resemble your own ichthyological species. I am Tom Array, protector of Sector 2813.
I love his voice so much.
Yeah. He's good.
I could listen to him talk all day.
And I thought that was a really good example of too much script. They're telling me what I'm seeing, and I don't need that. I need you to tell me what I don't know. Like, I can see for myself that the translator must be working.
But they got the right guy to do it, is all I'm saying. You know,
I agree. I'll agree.
Could have had anyone do it. He's the right guy. All right, here's Michael Clark Duncan befriending a mouse before his execution. No, different movie.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Never let your guard down, Pooser. Welcome to Ring Slinging 101, or as I like to call it, the worst day of your worthless life.
Oh, man. Whatever, boss. He's great, and that character is great in the comics. Very cool character that I was glad to see here. Mark Strong is awesome, I wrote.
The core is only as strong as its weakest link, and I will tolerate no weak links. You understand me?
You are the weakest link.
Okay, I mean, I hear you, and you've got like hundreds of other stronger links. Why aren't you sending them after Parallax?
Yeah,
what's
do it.
the deal?
Yeah, what's going on? They're all down there going, yeah! I'm shooting their green lasers up in the sky. But that seems like a waste of energy, doesn't it? When they were all going, putting their fists in the air and then creating a giant, I can see it from outer space beam. It's like, what? It's a finite thing. You're using the willpower of the people to just burn. Like, what are you doing? It's like me dumping 65,000 gallons of water from a leaky pipe. Why would you do that?
I guess I'm just
still smart. Still smart. Still hurts.
I've read so many comics and I've seen so many comic book movies now that I just don't understand how the new guy becomes the one. You know what I'm saying? Like not via this explanation. Like everybody is saying to him, "You suck," and so like then he becomes the one when you've got all of these other experienced Green Lanterns standing over here on a rock. Like why are they not taking out Parallax? It's just, I don't know. There's just something missing from this story.
Let the new guy do it.
Yeah. I did like when they were trying to do it and Parallax would suck their skeletons out or do whatever they did, suck their yellow fear out.
Yes, it's definitely demonstrated that they suck against Parallax, right? I'm just saying the story doesn't tell me how Hal Jordan becomes the one to defeat Parallax.
Right. Parallax.
He just does. It just happens around him. You know?
Dunaway will appreciate this, but I can't hear the term Parallax without thinking about Parallax scrolling in 16-bit games.
Yeah, and having items stay put when you scroll the the screen up.
Yeah, it's weird. Here, let's see. How old are you? No, how are you? I don't know what this is. Here it is.
Bill, how are you?
Oh, it's the way he answers the phone. I like the laugh in the middle. Here it is again.
Bill, how are you?
What do you know? A guy on the phone.
Wonders never cease.
Let's forge that yellow ring.
We must forge a yellow ring.
All right, Mark Strong. Calm down, buddy. Alien body recently?
Although I did get to examine an alien body recently. That was very cool.
Oh, man. Skarsgård.
I like him.
I always say Skarsgård, but it's Skarsgård, right?
Oh, it is?
No,
I thought
this
it was
is
SARS.
SARS.
It's SARS?
This one is Skarsgård.
Okay, the other
He's
guys
not a
are,
Skarsgård.
the brothers are all
He's a Skarsgård.
Skarsgårds. He's a SARS. Okay.
Right.
I constantly do that wrong.
Oh, yeah, totally.
He's married to Gyllenhaal.
Oh, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yes, they have a lot of extra A's in their name that they're willing to sell if you're willing to agree on a price.
All I think of when I see him, two things. One, Garden State. I always think of Garden State. He's in that. I think it's the first time I saw him. And then that Dr. Kinsey movie where he shows his wiener. I always remember that. It's a very up close, like right in front of Liam Neeson's face kind of wiener shot. It's really weird. I don't
For me, it's Garden State every time. Like, I can't stop seeing him in Garden State.
Yeah, he's great in Garden State. It's a high point of that movie. Here's him screaming. I feel like that would arouse the suspicions of your neighbor.
Yeah. That was me this morning in the bathroom.
You taking a big old dumper? Yeah. Here's I wrote the dumb voice they gave him, but I don't remember the reference. It's been 2 weeks, so here it is.
Evening, ma'am. Didn't get a chance to say goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, they Batman.
He was
Yeah,
doing
when
a,
he-
he was
when
doing a
he's
superhero.
It was the Superman Lois
Yeah.
Lane, you want to take me flying thing, and he lands on her balcony, and it's not until her face is 4 inches away from his that she realizes, oh wait, you're Ryan or you're Hal Jordan. And,
Yeah, but I kind of liked at least that they acknowledged it, because up to that point, I was like, if they let him get away with this, I'm going to be more mad than I am with Clark Kent.
Well,
Because-
apparently, according to trivia, she says, I've seen you naked. You think I wouldn't recognize you because you cover your cheekbones? According to trivia, that was ad-libbed.
Oh,
so
really?
it was her way of, I think, saying, can I throw a line in there that makes me not look like an idiot for not recognizing that he's Hal Jordan with a fruit roll-up on his face?
Yeah. That's great. Here's some more Hector screaming. Sorry in advance. You think that's really Skarsgård doing that, letting that rip?
I don't know, but that was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, he was great. We'll give him credit where it's
I love
due.
when people's head just keeps growing and no one says anything. No one. I mean, Tim Robbins' dad kind of says, "Ooh, what's going on here?" But no one just comes out and says it like my mom would. You know, if you have like a zit on your face, my mom's going to very specifically tell you where it's at and what you need to do to take care of it. But this guy's all like, "What's up with your head, dude?"
Yeah. You're not wrong. Real quick here, I forgot about this. He's the villain in the Magnificent Seven remake, around 2013 or 14.
Skarsgård is?
Yeah. He's
that's
great,
right. That's right.
in that as a villain. Really good.
How was the rest of that? The Chris Pratt and...
I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's an Antoine Fuqua movie, which means it goes a little off the rails because his movies always do. But I thought Denzel was great. Chris Pratt was kind of at this moment of explosion. He was just coming off of Guardians and all that. I think it's great. I really enjoyed it. But I'm a sucker for Westerns, so I'm probably a little biased, but I liked it a lot.
I managed to watch this version of the Magnificent Seven when I was so tired, and I shouldn't have. It was ill-advised to start the movie, and I fell asleep, and I feel bad.
That'll happen.
And I've never gone back and watched it, to see if
That'll
it's
happen
actually...
with that'll happen with good movies, even. Like
yeah.
Being tired it's a problem. But I got something from your mother. She sent me these tapes, and
these are audio cassettes, right? Because she didn't have any other way of recording.
No, these are full on tapes. I took out some of the hiss and the
thank you,
cleaned them up. But anyway, this is
big on the Maxells. Yeah,
this was she's really fixed on your prom stuff. I don't know why she recorded all of that. She was worried about something, but there's some audio here when
plausible deniability.
Exactly.
That's why she recorded.
Your date asked why you wouldn't dance with her. And this was the response that's recorded on tape for all the time. So here it is.
Please explain to me just once why.
Because I'm afraid.
You were afraid to dance.
I was afraid of worms, Roxanne.
Yeah.
I mean words.
Oops. Here's an afraid to be afraid. I don't know what this is.
You're afraid to even admit you're afraid.
Oh, that's a dumb line.
The only thing to fear is fear itself. It's right there. It's just another way of saying that.
Yeah, that way you stay out of copyright trouble.
Yeah.
Let's see. Your words are compelling, young human.
Your words are compelling, young human.
Yeah, that's a good way to end that, I think. All right, well, there's your stuff. Oh boy, look what we got here. It's the Film Sack checklist. It's impossible to hire Skarsgård for anything but roles like this. Check. The guy's perfect for this weird shit.
So good.
Let Jeffrey Rush voice all things. Check. And finally, do not take men's fashion and grooming advice from any of the other lanterns. Check. I don't know what I was thinking there, but I stand by.
No little tiny mustaches and Eddie Munster widow's peaks.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I meant.
Away from. Yeah.
Star Trek Connections. What do we got, Randy?
Yes, and we just heard one. We just heard one that didn't come up on QuickSack, which is very interesting to me. I'm gonna give you some.
I bet it's her.
I probably
I'm gonna give you some. All right, come on.
I'm probably missing some because I'm a little too dependent on the internet. So Clancy Brown is the voice of Parallax in this movie, and was in an episode of Enterprise. Gatlin Griffith is the kid Hal.
Yeah,
he plays the
the young
version.
Okay.
He was in an episode of Star Trek Picard, like just this year or last year.
All right.
Just an extra. We have Stuart Baird, the editor of this movie, also directed 3 movies. And 2 of them we've seen on FilmSack, Executive Decision and U.S. Marshals.
Oh.
And Stuart Baird directed Star Trek Nemesis. And then you just heard the voice of Salome Jens. Salome Jens is she plays the female shapeshifter in Deep Space Nine that we keep going to visit on the other side of the wormhole.
Oh,
and she becomes one of the villains, basically, of Deep Space Nine. Although a strange villain who isn't really like committed to villainy so much as just opposed to all of these people from the Alpha Quadrant keeping Odo around.
Yeah, the real villain of that show was Nurse Ratched lady. Can't think of her name.
I think I agree.
Yeah, she was evil.
I think so.
Horrible.
Although there's some Cardassians that are pretty villainous.
Yeah, but at least they were like they were more 2D villains. Like the Cardassians, like I will destroy you kind of stuff. Whereas she was just manipulative and horrible.
Yeah.
The Bajoran nightmare, man. She was bad.
She was the Dolores Umbridge of Star Trek.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
anyway.
One more little thing. Salome Jens, her career goes back to the 60s. And for her to still be getting work in Green Lantern, I just think is really cool.
It is cool. And that is a cool... Listen to that voice again right here. Where is it? Right here.
Your words are compelling, young human.
She just sounds cool.
If you've seen any of Deep Space Nine, you recognize that voice.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Familiar. All right. Well, nicely done. Let's get to the soundtrack grade. I give it a PG for pretty good. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It just did what it needed to do. Had the right crescendos and the right low moments, and it was a work-a-day thing. They got it done.
I thought there were some moments where it was really good too.
Yeah, I think, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know. It's always hard to remove the music from the movie if the movie's not great or whatever. But this seemed more than capable to me.
We're talking about James Newton Howard, and
he's always good.
There have been many film sack movies with James Newton Howard scores, and I love them. I always love them.
He has 3 names. That's what you do.
Yep.
Moving on to the Twitter post. This is where you guys sum up stuff in 280 characters or less. If we did the meta threads post, it would be 500, but we're not going that high.
Oh.
All right? We're not going that high.
See.
We're staying on Twitter. 280 characters is all you get. Let's start with Randy.
Green Lantern. With each watched film, dullness we fight. No garbage shall escape our sight. Let those who criticize be right. This Green Lantern, he's no Dark Knight.
Oh. That's a shame. Truly. All right, nicely done. Let's now do Brian Dunaway's.
Oh, Green Lantern, like other superhero movies, but just not as good, but better than some. So there's that, I suppose. Hashtag Angela Bassett takes it to the face again.
Nicely done. Finally, Brian Ibbett.
Green Lantern. That satisfied look on my face after watching this movie, well, it's purely CGI.
Pulsating green facial CGI.
Pulsating green, yes.
Real quick here, somebody emailed me again about this. They've asked about this for years. Why don't we do the Twitter post in the same order that we do the intros of the show? And the answer is, I don't know. But it's
because that's just the way we've
it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So we've stuck with it. Okay. Don't freak out. I know it's a little OCD of some, to see it and go, oh my gosh, why is it out of order? But just it's fine.
I wonder if the first time, so you surprised us the first time we ever did social media post. We
just sprung it on you. Yeah.
And
really?
I wonder if we just jumped at the opportunity in that order. Like each of us were like, sort of like ad-libbing, like who's ready to ad-lib first, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe that just set it in stone and then we never thought about it.
Some dedicated listener will find that episode. I'm curious when that get introduced because I have zero memory of it.
That
wasn't a day one thing, huh?
No, not day one. No.
How uncomfortable was those first episodes? I wonder. We didn't do intros, right? In the beginning.
You know what? I can play the intro to one. You want to hear it?
Yeah. Give us the top of the Kroll.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's do Kroll. I'm going to hate this. I just know it. My voice will be different. Everything's going to suck, but we're going to try it. So here's how that show started.
familiar.
That's got our intro. That's weird. Different. I'd tweak that, I guess.
I like that, actually.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
You'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. This is Film Sack.
So it's like a filler announcement.
How young?
Yeah, young Fletcher. What?
Somebody gets shot?
That was weird.
Oh, sure.
Okay, we've had Oh Sure since the beginning.
Here comes young Scott Johnson.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Film Sack.
Welcome to Film Sack, the podcast dedicated to mining the dark depths of Netflix streaming for all the betterment of mankind.
Okay.
This is episode 1, people. The first one ever. I am Scott Johnson. Joining me tonight is Brian Dunaway.
Hi, how you doing? I can't find my glaive.
Good. Randy Jordan.
I am a legendary 5-pronged weapon flying through space.
Awesome. And Brian Ibbett. Oh, hitherto known, be known to forever in the future as Bibby. Just want to get that out front and out of the way. Welcome, Bibby.
Or you could just call me the One-Eyed Man.
Oh, wow. Everybody sounds weird.
Yeah, but we had a single one-liner. It sounds like.
Yeah, it was basically
intro,
like 8-word intros, and now we're doing 2.5 minutes each, I think.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna write in and go, "I miss those days."
Yeah. And that first episode we did, we had a cave shaped like a vagina or something. That was a thing.
Oh yeah,
That was checklist, wasn't it? Black guy dies first, cave shaped like a vagina. I think those were all in the checklist.
I don't remember if we even had. I'd have to go whole listen.
Let's listen to the whole episode.
Let's back and listen to the whole first episode.
Man, I was way overexcited. I could hear it in my voice.
I know, and
It's like,
Bibby, forever hitherto known as Bibby for 2 episodes.
Yeah, that
until he
lasted-
said this is a bad idea.
That lasted 2 weeks, man.
Because we couldn't, because none of us could keep it going, right? Like we just immediately called me Brian. I mean Bibby. Brian. I mean Bibby. You know,
You know
it's
what I'm talking about.
all right,
It used to be
Brian.
2009 didn't used to feel so far away, but that feels like a long time.
I
ago.
feel like I've spent the last 14 years coming up with ways to say Brian that you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. Well, anyway, that was a fun walk back into time. I don't even know where the hell alternate titles. Check this. Or no, wait, did Ibbett do his thing? Did you do your check?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Yeah, the CGI. Yeah.
I really threw myself by listening to episode 1.
You mean Bibby? Yes, Bibby did his.
Yeah, Bibby did his.
Totally did his.
Forever known as Bibby. All right. The alternate titles go like this. It was almost called Green Deadpool, but they thought that was a little on the nose. So instead, they called it A Guy, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
A guy, a girl.
A guy, a girl, and a pizza place.
Like it, second season, they dropped. Did they drop the pizza place in the second season? I'm trying to remember. They started dropping things.
This is just 2 guys and a girl.
2 guys and a
something
girl.
like that.
2 guys. Let's look it up. And
I think like the first season it had
right.
the full name,
Yeah.
and the second season it was like they dropped some of it.
So that show started the year Seinfeld ended, 98.
I had such big hopes too, man. I was like, oh, this is such a good show. Watched it right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Loved it.
It's got
4 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know this was a Nathan Fillion thing. He's in that.
What, in Guy and a Girl?
Yeah. He's a boyfriend. He plays a kind of a jerk. That's the first time I think I actually.
I'm sure it would have been for me, but I don't remember him being in there at all. That's
I just
wild.
remember thinking these characters. I just remember thinking those actors were fantastic. They were doing something. There's just too many good people that need to go.
Whatever happened to Richard Ruccolo?
Richard Ruccolo? Hold on. Oh yeah, where is that dude? Pete DeVin.
Where'd that guy go? Where'd that guy go?
Where'd you go, Richard? I have no idea. I didn't know David Ogden Stiers was in that either, or Stiers, however you say it. Winchester.
Oh yeah. Charles Emerson Winchester.
I love him. I love him, but whatever.
Whose dad did he play?
Yeah, right. Had to be a dad. Hold on. It says he was Mr. Bauer. So is there?
He must have owned the pizza place or something.
Got it.
Just recently rewatched Better Off Dead, and he's the dad in Better Off Dead.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
And it's like it's so typical. It's so like it's the most replaceable performance imaginable. He is such an every dad.
Yeah. You know what's weird? Nobody else on that show had the Ryan Reynolds. Well, I guess I don't know. So wait a minute. You're telling me we get 2 Green Lanterns out of 2 girls, a guy, and a pizza place?
Yeah,
that's right.
Who was the girl? Wasn't it
Taylor Howard? Taylor Howard.
Taylor Howard, yeah.
I had a crush
I love
on
that
her.
you just called it 2 girls. It's really only one girl.
Sorry, I know.
It's so confusing.
I keep doing that. But she was. I thought I had a kind of a big crush on her in that.
Oh yeah,
those early seasons, and then I don't know. I guess she's only done about 12 things since.
Yeah,
trailer Howard.
That was the time of Dharma and Greg and all of this stuff too, right? Wasn't that like all we're like?
Oh yeah.
Trying to move into this next era,
post Seinfeld. You had a little crossover with Frasier and some things. But.
Maybe she didn't have a career because she didn't change her name, and like you can only go so far with the name Trailer. I'm sorry.
Oh, I keep reading Taylor. You're right. It's Trailer.
Yeah, it's Trailer. Yeah, she usually gets replaced by somebody named Teaser.
and I love that.
Able to get there first. Able to get the roles first.
Oh, nicely done.
Son of a.
All right.
She's in Son of the Mask. That's her only comic connection is Son of the Mask.
Oh, okay.
One of the lowest rated movies of all time.
Look for it soon on Film Sack.
Yeah. She was good on Monk. She was in all the Monk episodes, like 86 episodes. Yeah. She was good in there. All right, moving on to some feedback from listeners. We get emails, we get texts. I have a couple of texts today. It came to 801-471-0462, and here's one without a name, I believe. Hello, Sackers. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it is. Someone we know. Hey, Sackers, this is Jeff Smith, not Bone, he says. We've heard from him before.
Yes.
On the most recent episode of Film Sack, Scott read a message from Jeremy referencing the Pearl Jam song, and then worried that he was implying the author of the message was a mass shooter. My understanding of the song is that Jeremy didn't shoot up the class, but shot himself in front of the class. I went and looked it up. He is, of course, correct. Yeah. That is what Jeremy did.
Jeremy has spoken.
Yeah. And he did gnash his teeth and bit the recessed lady's breast.
That's true.
That was pretty. How
could we forget?
That was pretty rough. Also, I think I mix it up with the pumped up kids running guy because he's got a gun and he's shooting people. So I think I've just mixed them.
The kids with the pumped up kicks need to get out of there.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes on in that song. Like he hit me with a surprised left, right? Like, so he wasn't just killing himself in class today. He was like fighting people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Apparently based on somebody that both something that Vetter had read about and also a kid that he knew in school. So like it's a mishmash of those two people in Eddie's life.
Jeremy had a rough time.
And you could be forgiven for thinking it's about a school shooter because it starts with him fantasizing about people laying in pools of blood.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think that's where I did it. But anyway, we appreciate the clarification, Jeff Smith, not Bone. Here's one from Mark, St. Pete, he goes by. Says, love your shows, and the latest one I listened to, 607, got me thinking. Here are two that I love. Cutthroat, I always talking about movies that are guilty pleasures. Right?
Oh, cool.
Because that was our episode of that. So Cutthroat Island with Gina Davis and Matthew Modine.
yeah.
And what can I say? I love action movies, and I really love Gina Davis as an action star. We did watch that. Number two, 1992's Nemesis with Oliver Gruner, Tim Thomerson. Oliver is a cyber hunter in this action-packed movie, and I think it's streaming on Peacock, which makes me want to watch it again. He says Cutthroat was rated 40% audience and Nemesis 41. These movies are not super low, but I really never hear anyone saying much good about either movie, but I like them. Hence the definition of guilty pleasures. Thanks, says Marks /St. Pete. Yeah, those are good examples, I think. I'll never see Cutthroat Island again. I'm done. I think that'll be the end of it.
No need to. That road has been traveled and never needs to be revisited.
Right, but I think that what I do with Waterworld is very similar. Like there are a lot of people who would swear it off, but I love it.
You know, if you want Gina Davis as an action star, watch what was the
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang? No, not Bone Collector. It was one where she has a previous life that she doesn't remember as a hit woman. And Samuel L. Jackson brings it out of her. We watched that one for Film Sack also. Oh, what is that?
I'm looking it up.
Oh, Gina Davis.
Long Kiss Goodnight.
That's it. With Samuel
I remembered
L.
it without
Jackson.
looking it up, folks. Right there.
Samuel L. Jackson in there, yeah?
Proud.
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we did do that one. I agree. That's a good one, but not that great, but good because it's fun to watch.
But good for her action, good for the Gina Davis action deal.
Good for you, Gina Davis.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Don't forget, you can email or text us those texts, 801-471-0462. You can also leave voicemails there, or if you prefer email, filmsack@gmail.com. I'd like to welcome some new folks to the show this week. We have Matthew C., Charlie H., Eric J., and Michael O. have all joined us on our Patreon, which is super easy to join up at patreon.com/filmsack. You're about to get a bonus episode from me any day now, probably tomorrow. We do monthly host bonus shows each month, and it's my turn. So watch for that. There's also other reasons to make sure you support us, like no commercials ever, pre-show content every week, monthly special episodes from the host, like I mentioned, movie-related art in the mail, and other great benefits that can be yours if you just hop over there, click, and sign up. All right? Cool. Check it out. Patreon.com.
I'm going to say this, too. Yeah. The next 5 people in the U.S. that sign up for FilmSack, I found 5 more magnetic FilmSack video cassettes.
Oh, awesome.
So the next 5 Americans...
You're right.
Yeah. The next 5 people with a U.S. address will get those, and I'll have Scott give those to me.
That's great. I will definitely let you know or I'll get you those names as soon as we have them. That's great.
Sweet.
I think that's going to do it for us. Next week, we are watching, I don't know what. Oh, we're doing a one-off on scary movies and why we like them.
Scary movies.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Okay.
I'm a big
But
fan
after that, we're going to watch Uncharted on Netflix.
Oh, Uncharted.
What?
The new Uncharted. With our friends Spider-Man and Max Payne. They're in that together.
It's our hot action movie summer, and we're hoping for action from Uncharted.
I agree. That's awesome. So that'll be next 2 weeks from now. So listen for all of that stuff. We have some amazing stuff upcoming. Filmsack.com in the meantime. Again, patreon.com/filmsack. And if you'd like to leave us reviews wherever you get your shows, we would love it if you did that. So just do it. All right?
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
Sure.
I mean, it's a tiny bit early. I just want to say happy birthday, Scott Johnson.
Oh, thanks.
Aww.
It's tomorrow.
Aww.
I almost forgot.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting it's happening because you get to a certain age and you're just like, ugh, birthdays.
Yeah, it's like your 91st birthday, but I just want to wish you happy birthday.
Sam, I'm going to disagree. Every birthday is exciting to me. I don't care. I'm always like, birthday, celebrate me.
Plus you say birthday, and I love that you say birthday.
Yeah. That's the thing. When I think of birthdays, I don't think of, let's celebrate me being another year older. No, I just think of a yearly reminder that we need to celebrate ourselves.
That's right.
And that's how I treat my birthday. So I never sleep on my birthday. I'm always like, let's do this.
Yep.
Let's do it.
That's right.
Let's celebrate Brian.
Celebrate your BERF.
My
DAY.
birthday.
Do it.
Baby.
All right. That's great. Well, thank you for that. Also, I don't need anything. Nobody send me a jack, okay? I'm good.
I'm sending you crap.
I know Brian's actually sent me something really cool.
I'm texting you.
It's actually coming with Hammond because I don't trust the U.S. mail.
Oh, that's a good idea. I trust him more than mail.
There's one U.S. mail I trust, and his name is Hammond Chamberlain.
Yeah, nor sleet, nor snow, nor dark of night will stop him from
Dream Theater.
Or Dream Theater's final song, which went all night. All right, that is going to do it for us. Thank you all for listening. We'll be back next week with more. Until then, for me, for Brian, and for Randy.
I used to sleep in.
We'll see you then.
Get more at frogpants.com.
I used to sleep in.